Hi there, this is Connor with studyskills.ie, and I want to just welcome you to the first video lecture of this series. And in this first introductory lecture, we're just going to go through what this course can actually do for you. Because I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, why should I go through this? Why should I spend the time going through this when I'm not quite sure what it's all about, and I could be spending my time doing other things like studying or taking notes and doing all that good stuff that you like to do to prepare for your classes and your exams. So I've prepared this little lecture, and after this hopefully you'll have a better idea of how these techniques can help you. Now, the first thing I want to do is I just want to pose this question to you, and it is, do you experience any of these before your exams? And I have a few things here. They are fear and anxiety, stress and nervousness, butterflies, you don't know enough, you don't know what you do know, you think you're going to fail, and you think your mind is going to go blank. Now, a lot of students, from my experience, oftentimes will either feel or think one or many of these or even all of these as they are going up and to take an exam, maybe even the whole preceding year before an exam, a big exam year, they will experience all of these things. And the reason that students feel all these things stems from one single cause, and that is the unknown. Now, there are two unknowns that students face when they are confronted with exams. And the first is what's in the exam. So, what is required of me? What is going to be asked of me? And the second is, what do I actually know? Now, not knowing what's going to come up in your exam causes a lot of things, mainly fear, which produces stress and leads to anxiety and nervousness, and all of these kind of accumulate to give you that feeling of butterflies in your stomach. Not knowing what you do know produces thoughts that your mind is going to go blank, that you're going to fail, and that you just don't know enough. And all of these are going to accumulate to make you worry. So it's no wonder then that most students go into exams with completely the wrong attitude, that they're going to fail, they're going to do bad, and that they simply won't succeed. Now, it does seem obvious then that if the unknown is the problem for a lot of students, then what we need to do is to remove the unknown from the equation. And in order to do that, there are two specific things that you need. The first is what to learn. You need to know what is required of you. You need to know what will be asked of you. And the second is how to learn. Once you know what is required of you, you need to know how to get that information into your head. So let's first look at what to learn. Now, most students have no idea what they're supposed to be learning. So what they tend to do is they tend to put in time into some type of activities, and they feel good about themselves then because they feel as long as they're putting in time that they're doing a good job. But that's not necessarily true. So here are just a few of the things that students like to do to put in their time. They study, they take notes, they do some type of rote memorization, they do a lot of underlining and highlighting, and they constantly read their textbooks. Now, unfortunately, none of these things that I've mentioned are what are tested in your exams. So you could spend a lot of effort and time going through and doing these things, yet none of them may be beneficial to you when it actually comes to your exams. So I pose this to you, that instead of trying to learn material that you're not sure will come up in your exams, you're not even sure if you'll need to know it, imagine if you knew what was going to come up in your exams, and imagine if you also knew the exact answer to get the highest marks or to get the A that you need. Now, wouldn't your life be so much easier, and wouldn't you be so much more confident? The obvious answer to that is, of course, yes. So in the What to Learn section of this course, this video series, I'm going to teach you the methods you can use to find out everything that you need to know for your Leaving Cert exams. And that way, a lot of the uncertainty, a lot of the unknown is going to be taken away, and you're going to be able to focus directly on exactly what you need to know and what is required of you for your exam. Now let's take a look at the how to learn. So once you know what you need to know, then you got to find out, well, how do I get that information into my head? Now most people try and do this by some type, like I said, of rote memorization, such as reciting the material over and over, or writing the material out over and over, or even reading the material out over and over and over again. Now, as you can imagine, all of these methods are extremely redundant and time wasting. But not only that, you're not even guaranteed to fully remember all of the information when you use these methods. So you can never be fully confident going into your exams, because these methods are so redundant. Again, I'm going to pose this to you. Instead of taking hours to try and learn materials by rote memorization, imagine if you had a system of learning that allowed you to learn information instantly, and as soon as you had learned the information, you would always remember it. Now, wouldn't your life be so much easier, and wouldn't you be so much more confident? Again, of course, the obvious answer to that is yes. So in the How to Learn section of this course, I'm going to teach you methods that will greatly accelerate your learning. And in fact, you will be able to learn and remember information 5 and even 10 times better than before. So you can really then, once you go through the what to learn and combine that with the how to learn, you can be very confident of yourself when you go into your exams. So let's just sum that all up before we move on. Getting an A in your Leaving Cert, or any Leaving Cert subject, it's not about studying. This is very important. It's not about taking notes. It's not about rote memorization. It's not about underlining part in your textbook. And it's certainly not about constantly reading and writing. Getting an A requires that you know 2 specific things: what to learn and how to learn. So in this presentation series, we are going to go through the methods of what to learn and how to learn for your Leaving Cert, and that means for all of your subjects. And after this, if you go through all of the exercises, you will have the tools to get an A in any subject. So those are the basics. That's what this course is going to do for you. And if you feel like that is going to be beneficial to you, then you should move on to section 1, which is the How to Learn section, and that's in the next presentation series.